Hello, everybody. This is Moo,
And this is Fuji.
and we just watched Black Cauldron.
And okay, we have to reenact here a little scene that happened right at the beginning as we were watching this. So for both of us, it's been a while since we had seen this movie.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me.
I saw it when I was like 4, I think.
I saw it when I was in high school, maybe, because I heard people talking about that this is an underrated classic. And, oh man, Disney's really snubbing this one because it bombed at the box office. And I went, oh, I should watch it. So I think I rented it from the library. And then I wasn't impressed.
Okay,
and I'm still not impressed.
So we start this out, and Moo's being salty. So we're starting.
I'm always salty.
And the main character of this movie is Taryn, and he starts out, and he's a farm boy,
living with an old man,
doing all this farm stuff, and then
complain about it.
Well, so then Moo looks over at me, and she's like, "Oh, we haven't seen this story before, farm boy, becoming a warrior." And I said, "Well, no, actually, in Disney movies, because we've been watching them all in order. There really hadn't." Or there hasn't been one.
Not exactly like that, no.
Yeah, farm boy. And so we both sat back and we were watching. About 2 minutes later, I look at her and I'm like, Star Wars.
Yep.
And
what?
She made a face.
What? No way. Because I thought about everything else in the movie that I could remember, and I was like, holy fuck, this is Star Wars.
This movie is Star Wars.
It's a rough version of Star Wars.
With a heavy dose of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's like they distilled Star Wars and Lord of the Rings through like a tunnel and dropped it into a bottle and then made it into a D&D campaign.
Pretty much. So for some context, because we looked this up because I was curious. So Star Wars originally came out in 1977.
Yeah.
This movie came out in 1985. In 1978, the animated Lord of the Rings came out by Ralph Bakshi.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know if I'm saying that name right.
Ralph Bakshi, I think it's pronounced.
Anyway, so that movie came out, and that movie did really well.
Yes, it did.
At the theater. Really well. And so going into the 80s, you're definitely starting to see some of the influence of that. Like, D&D was becoming a thing. There were, the controversies that were happening in the early 80s with D&D.
Yeah.
But, that was something that was in the public consciousness. It was something that people did. And this movie seems super poised to cash in on both of those things.
Yep.
Because we have like young male lead.
Yep.
Young female lead.
Yep.
Furry guy to sell plush toys of.
Goofy old man.
Goofy old man.
Cute pig.
Cute animal sidekick.
Yeah.
And then Darth Vader-ish.
Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine mushed into one character, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Darth Vader without the sympathetic parts and just the Emperor.
Yes.
The Horned King, who, I have to say, the animation in this movie, despite all of its faults, the animation was still really good, especially on the Horned King.
It's really good.
Really good. That was not lacking in this movie. Not a lot of reused animations either.
No, I really didn't catch anything.
There were a few times that I think they reused some of the Long Ways animation, but not super obvious. It was just because I was looking for it at the time. But so this is probably the first one in a while we've had not very much reused animation.
That said, and watching the credits, which by the way, this is the first one to have the credits scroll at the end.
Yeah!
Which I gotta wonder again if that's just a result of, the movies of this time.
Yeah, it is.
They're coming out. But looking at the credits, I super did not recognize very many names at all.
No, I really didn't either. We're getting to that time period where we're going to start seeing the creative shift in who's making these movies now, because we're and also this is the time where Eisner became CEO. He became CEO of Disney Company around this year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this also this is starting to get into the time period that I feel like I haven't done enough research about. Just because I don't know of a lot of really great reading material that's out during this time period.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about watching
Waking Sleeping Beauty,
which we'll probably do later.
It's a documentary from the Disney Company, right before the Disney Renaissance start and through the Disney Renaissance till it ends, and what they were thinking, what they were talking about. They talk about the development of these movies like Sleeping Beauty and stuff like that. And I think my favorite is how much they were struggling a bit with the story of Beauty and the Beast, because they had a lot of different ideas for the Beast, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, this is an interesting story. So, I can't remember, all the names right now off the top of my head, but, one of the animators, he was like, okay, so he had an idea of the Beast being a child, and, running around and, like, changing the story a bit to fit with that. But one of the other animators thought that was silly, and because all he could picture was Eddie Munster running around the castle, and thought it was really funny. And when he told everyone that, the guy that suggested it fucking flipped his lid. Like, he yelled at him and got really fucking pissed and stormed out of the room. The drawings from that point, because everyone, like, the animators draw what happens, draw what's going on in there.
To do their pitches.
Yeah, no, but they draw what's going on in their studio, too.
That's what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, they draw what they're doing in studio, too. Like, they draw characters of each other. They draw, like, what happens with the mates. And the picture is just, like, smoke and ash from the explosion. Some of the animators hiding under the table. And the guy walking away, like, steaming. So that's one of the stories they tell in there during the production of Beauty and the Beast. They didn't go with that. But, because eventually the guy calmed down and was like, okay, maybe that isn't a good idea. But... he just got so mad that they made fun of his idea. Talk about salt, eh? So yeah,
but
there isn't very many things like that.
Can I finish my thought?
Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Circling way back around. So the main book that I have, The Illusion of Life, which is the one that I just read, only goes up through middle of like Fox and the Hound, because it was written by Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnson, who were two of the 9 Old Men, and they actually left. I don't know if they were 2 of the last ones.
I think they were, because we didn't see any of them on this movie credit.
No, none of them were in the credits here. But they actually left to write the book, The Illusion of Life. So at this point, we have almost like a total sort of studio turnover.
Yep, this is the point where we start to see that, which is funny because Black Cauldron was their first bomb.
Yes.
And only bomb as of right now.
Yes.
In the animation department, I mean. Not saying that no Disney movie, period, has ever bombed. I meant in, like, the animated canon.
Hey, Moo, let's talk about the Haunted Mansion.
We're not... If we're going to talk about the Haunted Mansion, we're going to have to do a separate recording.
We'll do it
because
later.
You know me in the Haunted Mansion, dude.
I do know you in the Haunted Mansion.
I'm going to get pissed, and I'm going to go on a long-ass rant.
Okay.
We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Black Cauldron.
Black Cauldron.
A different Haunted Mansion. The weirdest D&D campaign. But yeah, how I felt, I'm not going to say I disliked the Black Cauldron. I just wasn't interested. Does that make any sense? Like,
that makes sense to me. Like, sitting here and watching it, like, it was gorgeous, to watch, and the music was very Star Wars, and the plot points were all very Star Wars, but I just, like, I'm sitting here and I'm watching, and I'm like, there's nothing really keeping me
the characters
here.
weren't Star Wars.
I really wanted Taron at the beginning to break out into song and to have his I want adventure in the great wide somewhere.
You know what? Alternative, like, I will find my way, I will go distance.
See, something like that. Like,
actually, a musical would have fit very well with this movie, thinking about it.
It would have. Better than Fox and the Hound.
Yes, but way better than Fox and the Hound. So, yeah, if Disney wants to revisit Black Cauldron ever, because they actually did renew their rights in 2016 for a series, potentially.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so if I like, the material they have to work with, I don't think is bad.
No, I don't. Okay, and this isn't, like, the characters are good. Like, it feels derivative of Star Wars, but Star Wars was really good.
Yeah, but that's because people like Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill had really good charisma.
So they could sell the characters, like, immediately.
Yeah, even if they were very simplistic. Like, when you first meet Princess Leia, like, when she and Luke first meet each other, she's like, I expected someone a little taller. Like, you like her right away, even before the scene before that, how she stands up to Darth Vader and sticks to her ground, even though she very much is part of the rebellion. Also, speaking of princesses, a long way being a princess doesn't make any sense in this movie.
No.
She's not a princess in the book, just so you guys know. She is a scullery maid in the book.
She's a noble blood, but a scullery maid.
Yeah.
So everyone who complains that she gets left out of the Disney princess line...
She's not a fucking princess.
She's not a princess.
And before I say, but Mulan's not a princess either. No, stop. Just stop. Stop right now. Besides, I don't dislike Elon Wei. She just has the same problem as all the other characters in this movie have, which is...
She's kind of boring.
Boring. Like...
I mean, she's kind of fun to watch, but, like...
I like her voice.
I like her movement, too, actually. She's very lively, but there's just not really any... Like, I don't feel any drive to, like, cheer for her, You know
what? The movie did not really take a moment to, like, take the characters aside for a couple seconds and, like, make us like them more, like endear them.
Because there's the scene where Taron hurts her feelings and she goes and cries, and then they make up.
they make up really fucking fast, actually. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, too. Okay. Next scene. Oh, yeah, there's that weird cut with the fairies.
Right, they're all knocked out, and they're lying on the ground, and then they cut to the fairies.
The baby fairies, yeah.
And then they cut to the adult fairies, and then suddenly
they're
Taryn and Elanway and the Bard are all up.
Yeah, they're all up and conscious. We don't even see them get up.
That was weird.
That was really odd. I feel like that someone lost a frame or something. And they
see this one and Fox and the Hound. I felt like there were some weird pacing issues. Like I couldn't quite pin down what it was.
Yeah.
Like if there wasn't enough, or if there's too much, or something. I don't know. Something was going on.
If it was too fast, too slow. Fox and the Hound, I think, might be on the little bit of the fast end of the pacing track, but.
See this one, Black Cauldron. Actually, this is one of the ones where it's like if they were gonna remake it today, like it'd be good as a mini series because you could actually spend time doing stuff.
So maybe Disney doing that as a TV series would actually be a good idea because we could spend time with the characters, get to know them, go on their adventures, maybe build up the Horn King. I mean, the Horn King is scary. Don't get me wrong, he is. He looks scary. He sounds scary. But in the end, what did we see the Horn King do?
Get eaten by a bull.
Oh, yes, we did. He got ripped to shreds. And we hear how evil he is. But once again, what do we see him do? Besides steal a pig and treat his sidekicks badly.
See, and it's like if you're gonna go back and compare to like Lord of the Rings, like Sauron is like end of the world evil.
Yeah, like glowing eyes, everything's on fire evil, and like you see his influence throughout the entire world of Lord of the Rings, because like, you know, we have the orcs and creatures like that walking around and being like, we're gonna kill your face and stuff like that, but we don't see that with the Horn King. Like, besides his minions at his castle, we don't see his influence or outreach, even though the fairies were like, man, that Horn King, he's a motherfucker, like, down there. Or
see, this was an example of like telling and not showing.
Yeah, it really
and
is.
not working out very well.
Yeah, so I don't know. If people like it, I guess that's fine. That's up to them. But I don't know. I wouldn't put this on my favorites at all. Like,
I'm probably good not watching it again.
Yeah, I don't care. I guess I don't care.
It's okay. I will say it's probably one of those movies that like I'll put it on, you know, to have something in the background, and like I'll look up, and any given frame is probably going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, but unlike Sleeping Beauty, you can't really like. It's not really compelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, you know, and I'm going to go back to Sleeping Beauty because it had kind of a similar vibe if you think about it. Sleeping Beauty and
yeah,
like, you know, same idea. Scary.
There were some like visual cues that I thought were real similar in the backgrounds between Sleeping Beauty and this one. Yeah,
but the thing is, like, you know, Maleficent, when she comes in and she like comes with all the fire, it's like whoosh, she walks forward and you like know that she's like no good, but we also see that she has power. And a lot of power, and
she has sort of a more specific motivation. Like she's here to like screw this king in particular.
Yeah, she's like, fuck this kingdom, fuck this baby, fuck these people over there. Like she doesn't like that. Like yeah, you're right. The Horn King's motivations were really vague.
He's like, I'm just gonna kill a lot of people.
I'm gonna bring back my army and do what? Kill a lot of people. Okay.
What? See, I bet stuff like that. I bet there was more in the books, and we're just not seeing it here.
Right. Well, the books. Like this is a movie, not a book, so we should just base it off the movie and not the book itself.
Right.
But, so, yeah. So, but anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Maleficent. And in that movie, we got to follow around the fairies and got to know them.
She's talking about her wife.
Stop! I'm not just talking about Maleficent. Stop! I'm not just talking. Stop it! Stop being an asshole, Fuji. Come on. I'm talking about the fairies as well, how you made them likable and all that stuff. The door just opened, and anyway, point being is like we spent time with them and we want them to succeed hiding Aurora, you know, like we don't want them to fail at it. And so when like she does get pricked, and we even spend time with Philip, we spend time with the dads.
Sounded like an innuendo.
God, stop! No, we're not doing it. Anyway, point being is, Black Cauldron didn't do that, and failed at it. I don't know, would you say that it tried at all? Doing that?
It felt like a very safe, calculated move, and I think it comes off as a safe, calculated move.
Yeah, here's the thing about safe, calculated moves that succeed, is your audience shouldn't know that's a safe, calculated move.
Right.
You gotta hide it, which they didn't in this movie.
Secrecy.
Anyway, we're approaching 15 minutes, so basically,
wrap this up.
Yeah, I'm not much for Black Cauldron.
Go watch Star Wars.
Yeah, you know what? Just go watch Star Wars.
Go watch Star Wars.
Or playing D&D camping. It's literally the same thing.
Do the Star Wars role playing stuff.
Yeah, do Star Wars or Lord of the Rings for Pete's sakes. Like, go watch Sleeping Beauty. Like,
go watch both of them at the same time.
Yeah, there you go. Put them on at the same time. Then like.
And it'll probably be better than this one's.
Actually, you'll get the same experience if you play Star Wars and Lord of the Rings at the same time while playing D&D. You get the exact same experience.
That sounds intense.
Sounds like a good idea. Anyway, so that's my final thoughts. You got any final thoughts, man?
Nope. That's about it for me.
Alright, our next movie is going to be The Great Mouse Detective, which I really like.
I like that one.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Alright, so that'll be the next one. We'll see you then.